Hello ladies and gentlemen, and I'm doing a bit of an overview for the current event in Azur Lane. Now, Azur Lane is a mobile game for the Android or iOS. You can, however, get it to play on your PC if you've got a emulator, which I currently use. It's a Chinese game, although they have released a version in Japan. Now, obviously the problem is that you won't be able to read things, but if you look at the screen you can see that there are pieces in English, so that helps. This is an overview of my fleets. Obviously I haven't quite got my fleet up to great levels yet, but as you can see, it's a ship girl based game, inspired by the types like Kantai Collection, but unlike Kantai Collection it involves a direct input, so it's more kind of skill based. The event, you use the replication button down here, and if you've already done one you have to reset it. Here we have your girls that you can take into the event, and you can select them like so. So you go into your list, you can deselect, add them and take them into the event. So once you've picked it out, you want to put your ships into the actual fleet that you're taking, because you don't want to be picking your strongest fleet at this stage of the game, because the fleets that you will face are initially going to be a lot weaker than the fleets that you will face towards the end of the event map. So the general idea is to pick your weakest event. Now obviously, because you've got one left over for the heavy side of your fleet, your main battle fleet, you can choose whether you want to take your lowest level ship or not. As you don't get experience, I decided not to in this case. You work your way around the map here, as you can see. Enter the map. It's very much like PvP because you're facing other people's fleets. So this is the level of the fleet you're going to be facing. As I said, the early ones, they are a lower level. So you just enter the map and engage the fleet. Unlike PvP in this game, you actually have direct control of the fleet. PvP is odd because you don't have direct control, and it's the only aspect in this game that's the case. With everything else you do. Now the red line here is my torpedoes, because I'm trying to line up my torpedoes and I've totally failed. That's what I was waiting for. Waiting for them to get in a bit close, get it a good shot so I could hit them early on and do as much damage early on with my torpedo spread. Line up there, and you see, that's the power of having a higher level fleet against a lower level fleet. So early matches do go surprisingly quickly because you do overpower them. It's the later matches that you have to be careful for. So these ones are pretty much free rewards. Now as you can see, you accrue damage like in PvP, but they stick with you. So go in again. The best tactic as you start off is to try and dodge the torpedoes, and the way I do it is try and go back and down. That way you avoid most of the enemy torpedo spread. Go in and do the kill. See how that went quite quickly there. So trying to get it all lined up, wait for my main attack. Here we are, lining up the main cannons again, and there's the battleship attack, well, battle cruiser I should say, because I believe that's renown. It's either repulse or renown. So those are the tokens that you get for the use of the buying of the event stuff. As you can see, you can just about see that the levels are slowly getting higher. They do get a lot higher. The levels of the opponent's fleets get higher, a lot sharper as you progress, but at this stage, not so much. So yeah, at the moment it's all rather one-sided, as you can pretty much see. But if you are lower levels and haven't long started this game, it does help you build up your currency, the event currency I should say, so that you can spend it on your event stuff. And here's the second wave of event ships. The second wave, there you can just see it's got slightly higher. The third wave is much harder, and then the final wave you're going to face ships that are level 100. The third wave you're going to encounter the second wave does have ships that are going to be between this range up to level 80, sometimes level 90. The third wave you're going to get ships that are between level 90 to 100, and then the final wave you're going to face pretty much all level 100 pretty much. But as I said, it's all other people's fleets, so there is a degree of randomness to what you're going to end up facing here, and you get more, as you can see, more of the fleet of these tokens that you use, and this is where you spend them, and you can use your tokens to buy these items here, but you have to accrue them, and that's where your number is there. I've only got 31 at the moment because I've just bought that skin down there, but as you build them up you can buy all these lovely items. I'll exit out of here, and that's the current event. You can do quests. You get 3 of these quests. Well, you do 3 of the battles and you get the reward of 20 of these tokens. So if you are a new starter, it is possible to do the event, so that is one of the nice things about it. So that's the overview of Azur Lane's event. Now, I do quite like this game. As I said, it's a bit more involved than say Kantai Collection. It's more of a bullet hell type game. I'll put a link to where you can get it from in the description. It's free to play. It has a economy. I can go into it in more detail. I probably will in my next few videos, because I'll probably make a few more videos into how to play the game and what you can do in the game. It's a nice little time waster. You don't have to get that involved in it, and yeah, that's Azur Lane.